Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Mama Motormouth, with another episode of I-86 that if I start talking funny, it's because I just came from the dentist getting the feeling. But I had a question that came in about borrowing. How do I feel about borrowing money from a title loan place or from a cash advance place? Okay. Well, of course, I've had experience in it, with having to borrow money. What ended up happening with me, with my roommate, at the time, well, we had an apartment and all that or whatever, but I had extra bills that she didn't have, car note, car insurance, and other personal bills that I had to pay, and also trying to help, my mom, at the time and stuff like that or whatever. So I had a little bit more extra on my plate. I was only 19 years old. I was making real decent money at the time, but of course, just having a roommate, you have to share, like the bills, everything is like sort of half and up. I'm gonna pay half of this, half of the rent, half of the lights, water, half of the cable. And I think at that time we had furniture that we had got from the furniture store, from the Renaissance store, and we were renting the furniture. And I think the furniture was like $90 per week, because like when we first moved in there, actually we sort of like slept on the floor for like the first month, but we went to the went to the place, and we decided to get furniture for every room in the house: dining room, living room, both the bedrooms, washer, dryer, everything. So that's why it came out to be like the $90 per week. But what ended up happening was she got sick. I say maybe like 4 months after we had moved in, she ended up getting sick, and she stayed in the hospital for I think like 2 weeks, and then for an additional 2 weeks she couldn't work. And even when she started back working, it still took like a week before she actually got some decent money. So for that month, it sort of threw me off, to the point where you have to rob Peter to pay Paul, basically. So I ended up robbing Peter to pay Paul, and someone at my job was like, okay, well, you go to the cash money place or whatever, do a cash advance, this and that, you can go ahead and get the money that you need to pay the bills, and nothing have to go behind. And I was like, okay, that was my first time. I had never heard of anything with me at 19 years old. I had never heard of anything about a cash advance place where you can get a nice little chunk of money and pay your bills, and just actually pay them back within like 30 days. And they was telling me about the interest and stuff like that. But at the time, when your head is above water, it really doesn't even matter. You just want to go ahead and get it done. Regardless of what the interest is, you just want to go ahead and get it done. And I really wasn't too educated in the interest and stuff like that at that time. That was 19. I was 19 years old, so that was a while back. But the thing about it was I went to the place, and the lady, she treated me real good, and she let me get the loan, and I was like, okay. I was like, I like this right here, got the loan. And I'm thinking that, okay, well, in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm just going to do it just this one time, because I just need to catch up for this 1 month, that she didn't get a chance to produce anything, and she was sick. So I'm thinking that, okay, well, y'all just going to do it just for this 1 month. Oh, no. What ended up happening was, when I went to pay it back, of course, because I borrowed it, and I was still sort of behind. I was already in a hole. So the thing about it is, like, when you're in a hole, you're definitely in a hole. Borrowing money, knowing that the money that you borrow, you have to pay it back, but you actually need that money still for a bill, even when you have to pay it back. So I think that that's sort of like the tactic and the technique that they use to get you, because it's never a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying? And it just got to the point where, even with her slacking the way that she did, even when she started being able to start back paying the bills, I still, for an additional 2 months after that, still had to pay a bulk of the bills, because even when with her making the money to start back paying back, she was still getting sick in between the time. And it's like I had to take care of everything for 3 months. You could put it to you like that. So even though she had started back working, she kept getting sick, and so her money was less and less and less. And I'm saying to myself, okay, it got to the point where, my paycheck was so small, my paycheck was starting to look sick. I could have swapped down, but my paycheck had the flu. I'm like, serious. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I'm dependent on, the cash money place. You know what I'm saying? And every time I went up there, she was selling me lie tickets. Do you hear me? She was selling me lie tickets. She was making me think that, okay, everything was all right, with borrowing this money. She literally was giving me the rope to hang myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. She gave me the rope to hang myself. And she kept talking and talking so fast and fast and fast and fast. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, okay, lady, you talking more than the radio around here. I mean, but all of it was just a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Just to get me to continue to borrow, making me think that that was the best thing to do. In which it wasn't the best thing to do, but I didn't know any better. I just wanted to make sure the bills didn't get behind, because I think really at that time everything was in my name. I didn't think about why, she didn't have anything in her name except for the furniture that we had, in which it was actually that was in both of our names. But I was like, wow. I just kept going, got dependent on it, and it just became like part of one of the bills. I mean, every time I went, she was talking to me. Oh, I know you need this money. I'm not even gonna put it in the drawer. And she would just take the interest part out, and she would actually give me the money back. After taking the interest part out. And I'm saying to myself, God, dog, I done dug myself so far up in the hole. God, oh, I'm like, when am I gonna get a chance to stop digging? Like, for real. So, I mean, I just kept doing it. I kept doing it. Kept being dependent. Nobody told me that basically borrowing money, title loan, or cash advance. Nobody said it was an addiction, because that is a literal addiction. You have people that continue to borrow 2 years, 5 years. It's like, y'all still going to the same place. These people know you by name. These people know your phone number, your address, how much money you make, how much your check is every week, every 2 weeks. I mean, it is ridiculous. You literally form a relationship with these people. And the thing about it is, it's like you get to the point where I tell a lot of people, poor is a state of mind and broke is only temporary. So if you are broke, that's just temporary. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You go, you borrow, please don't do it more than, and I'm very much against it now. I would definitely, tell a person to never, do anything like that again, as far as like, borrowing, from a cash money place. If that's your first time doing it, I would really go against that. If a person is borrowing and, they're continuing to borrow. My thing is to try to make out a plan where you can pay them back, and make out some type of payment plan where you can try to, tell the people that you owe the money to, that you started borrowing the cash advance money for, to try to pay these people, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Try to get it to a point where, you can pay the cash loan people back, and not have to pay them anything else again, because the interest is what's getting you. The interest is what's killing you. And it's like, the money that you're paying for interest over the 5 years or the 7 years is like you could have bought you a brand new car. Like, serious, you could have got that on up out the way. But I just think that it's a bad idea, especially like even for the title loans, because I'm sitting here pawning my title, to my car that's already paid for, just to get what, $500, $1,000, maybe $2,500 from you, and I don't pay you back. Here it is. You guys have a record. You guys have the tow truck, the record truck coming to my place and taking my car away because I didn't, get a chance to pay. Not saying that happened to me, but I just know several people that has happened too. So the car that you had that was paid for, that you was using to take you back and forth to work, to be able to pay these people out of your work check, now they have taken your transportation to get you back and forth there. So now what are you going to do? If you can't catch the bus, or no one wants to give you a ride, then now you've lost your job. So, I mean, you losing your job, now you losing, your roof over your head, and, your bills getting cut off because you can't pay, pay the light bill and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it's really, to tell you the truth, it's really not worth it. Just learn how to budget your money, and, after you get through, budgeting your money, just label what's more important to pay first all the way down, so that you won't have to be in that predicament, but like I said, I really, truly, I'm against that. I'm against it all the way. If someone had told me about that at the beginning, not to do it, just save your money, just call, whoever you owe, make payment arrangements and do what you need to do, I would have done that, but, no one told me that. So, I mean, and the thing about it is, I was going broke, and I didn't like going broke, at the time, because I'm having to, pay this and pay this, pay that, and, my money is slipping out my hand, and I don't have anything left, no money left for anything else, and I know being broke makes you feel like you one sandwich shy of a picnic, you know what I'm saying, but, still, you have to learn how to just be able to manage your money now, and I'm just so glad that, I think for me, it lasted for a year. You know, it lasted for a year, and a year seems like 10 years. Just knowing, you know, I actually paid you guys all of this interest money. You know, thinking that I was going to only do this for 1 month. But, you know, the lady was so slick talking, you know, she had me said it, you know, who's going to give up free money? That's what I want to know. Because if you taking the interest out and you sliding the money back up under the little glass and saying, oh, you know, you want this, you know, you want to keep it, da 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 da. Well, I sure do. Because you're giving me my money back. You know, not knowing that you're just tacking and tacking and tacking the interest on, tacking the interest on, tacking the interest on. And every time I come back, the only thing I'm doing is paying you interest. But getting my money back, but paying you interest. But at the end of the day, by the time you do decide that you want to pay them off, you still have to pay them that initial amount of money that you did borrow. So whether the money was $250, $500, $1,000, or however much it was, I think the initial money that I borrowed was $500. I had paid it down to, I was giving her the interest, and she kept giving me the $500 back because yes, I needed it, you know, at the time, because the bills were very, very high, you know, at the time, and I needed every penny that I could get. And I think what I did, I gave her a nice little chunk of change, and I think I ended up owing her like $250, and then it went down to like $150, then $100, and she kept trying to up it every time I went there. She kept trying to up and up and up. Oh no, go ahead and get the $500 back. Oh, you know, you qualify for $1,000. Yeah, that sounds good. But at the same time, I'm like, no, you know, because I want to go ahead and get you guys out the way. I want to go ahead and pay you back. And she was very, very shocked when I said that. So even when I did get a chance to pay her back, and that was the thing about it, because they make their money off of how many loans that they can loan out to the people and the interest that they're getting back from the people that's coming to pay the money. So she got, when I say she got upset with me, I mean, like, I was her spouse or something. I mean, she went off. I mean, completely off on me. I mean, like I was a bad kid at Christmas. I mean, she went off. When I paid her back, you don't want to borrow again? You don't want them? No, I don't. No, ma'am. I'm glad I got you guys out the way. I'm glad that. I mean, she started cussing and acting a fool. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so unprofessional. Are you serious? You know, just because I said I was a regular customer to her at this time because I was coming and paying you, you know, giving you your money back, you know, because as soon as I got it, which was after maybe like 2 weeks, I was coming to give you the money back, but you were sliding it right back to me, you know, so. You know, you were so used to seeing me every 2 weeks, you knew everything about me. You know, like I said, my name, my address, and everything. So you sliding the money back to me and stuff like that. But when I decided to finally go ahead and pay you off, you got upset with me. And I guess because we had that relationship to the point where, you know, I guess you thought that you could say whatever to me and then it would be okay. Or you would get mad, or you thought that you could convince me to go ahead and get the money back. But I didn't want to do it, you know, and you know, after that, I sort of learned my lesson, and I was like, wow, I wish someone had taught me or told me, but they didn't. I learned my lesson the hard way, but, you know, just me being able to just share that with you, you know, hopefully you'll know, please don't borrow money like that. Like I said, whoever you owe, you know, just go ahead and try to make the payment arrangements, or, you know, if you can borrow it from a friend or family member that says, oh, okay, you don't have to worry about paying me back, or, okay, you can just pay me whenever you get the money, that you know that you can trust them, then go ahead and do that. But, I mean, other than that, I just really wouldn't advise it. And yes, I have friends that you know, that borrow from the title loan place or from the cash money place, and you know, God bless their soul, because like I said, I was in that predicament before, you know, so I understand, you know, how they feel, where they would actually have to do that, you know, and feel now that they have to do that. But you know, my advice, please pay them back, and however you need to get the money, you know, to pay whoever, then you do that. But you know, you don't want to have to owe people, you know, money like that, you know, especially like I said, paying the interest rate and the high interest rate in order to just to get a little chunk of change so you can, you know, pay your bills off. But you know, still there's no relief after you've done it. There's no relief, you know, because it's in the back of your mind, you still have to pay these people off, or they're going to come and get your car, or you still have to pay these people off, or it's going on your credit, or they just might try to sue you for, you know, this money. So that's my advice today. Like I said, please, please, please don't do it. Do not do it. But this is your girl, Mama Motormouth. I love you guys, and share this video, like this video as well. Peace out. Love you.